Hey everybody, Jeremy here. So today I want to show you some items that I recently bought on Temu that I think could actually be useful in and around the house. If you're not familiar with Temu, it's one of those sites that lets you buy a huge variety of different items that you may not even know that you wanted, and then they all get shipped to you directly from China. So it's sort of like Wish or AliExpress, one of those kinds of sites. And almost everything on there is just ridiculously cheap. But at the same time, you kind of have to expect that you're going to get what you pay for, and that the quality of the product may be cheap as well as the price. But when I went on there, I decided to pick up some items that I think the everyday person may be able to use and find useful in their everyday lives. So I got everything right here. I'm going to test out these items one by one, and we're going to see how good they are. So first up are these stove protector cover liners. I paid $1.48 for 4 of these. And what these are supposed to do is go around the burners of your stove so that whenever you're going to get crumbs or little splatters into that little area, it will fall on this instead of falling onto your stovetop. So it'll save you a little bit of time so you won't have to worry about wiping up as often. This could really come in handy for me. So yeah, let's see how good these things are. So this is what the cover looks like. It's a very smooth kind of material. It feels like you should be able to wipe off crumbs on this fairly easily. It's not very thick. It's sort of like a construction paper kind of a thickness, and it's also most likely going to be larger than what your burners on your stove is going to allow. So you'll need to cut this down to size most likely. But let me show you what that looks like once it's all cut. Been using these for a handful of weeks, and as you can see, it does what it's supposed to do. It's catching all the little crumbs and all the grease splatters and all that stuff. Once you cut them down to size, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So seems like a good investment to me. This is a kitchen faucet water splash guard, and I got this for $1.99. And its whole purpose is to prevent water from pooling up around the faucet, because when it does that and you don't do anything about it, then that water tends to dry and it gets kind of nasty looking, a little bit brown, a little bit grimy, and this is supposed to prevent that from happening. So I just wrapped it around this faucet here, and just to do like a little test, say that I was just rinsing out a bowl or something like that, and then I just somehow splashed it, like right on top. And you can see that the water there is just pooling right there in the back. But if I just kind of press this down, then it just starts to drain the water that's closest to the end, and it falls off into the sink. And then for the rest of the water that's remaining, if you think about it, you can just grab a towel or something and just kind of dab it up like that. But it goes from the front all the way to the back, and hey, it looks like it did the job. Was using a little bit earlier, still got some water splash from the other times that I've been using it, and it doesn't prevent the water from getting down here on the center. So this still needs to be wiped off. But hey, as far as keeping the water from hitting around the area where the faucet is, I say, hey, it does what it's supposed to do. It's like it's a rubbery material, feels somewhat thick. I like it. The edible oil spray bottle. I know it's not the best name in the world, but this is a spray bottle that you can put things like olive oil, vegetable oil, avocado oil, whatever type of oil that you have into this bottle. And if you don't want to deal with the aerosol sprays, you can use this to spritz down your food or spritz down your cookware. And this cost me $3.23. It's certainly bigger than I thought it was going to be. Actually, it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. It holds 100 milliliters of liquid. So the top is a little bit off here, but we can just screw that down. You see we got that little tube down in there, and then we'll just press the black button to spritz our oil. So let's give this a test. This is a glass bottle, by the way. It is not plastic. I'm just going to pour a little bit of olive oil inside of here. All right, I think that's good enough just for a test. Now put the cap back on it, give it a twist, and see if it works. Just gonna spray it inside the sink. Give it a few pumps. Up, see that? Hey, totally works. Olive oil sprayer. $3.23. I'm definitely going to get some good use out of this guy. This is a stainless steel pocket kitchen knife, and I paid $2.69 for this, and it came with a little metal chain that you can use to put on your keys, and it has this little holder here as well with a snap buckle. So here is what the blade looks like. They had a bunch of different designs to choose from, but I decided to go with this little axe design because it reminded me of Kratos's axe from God of War. So this is the design that I wanted to go with. But yeah, that looks pretty cool, huh? But is it sharp? Well, let's find out. Got a little cardboard box here. So let's take our little axe knife and give it a try. Oh, wow. Yeah, can you see that? That was really easy to cut through. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is pretty sharp right out of the box. So yeah, definitely good for a letter opener or a little tiny unboxing knife. So yeah, $2.69 well spent. Next up is something I think that everybody should have in their car, and it is a little miniature trash can. This cost me $3.98, and it even has a little push lid with a pretty strong hinge, I do have to say. So this comes with a little attachment that you can just hook on to someplace in your car, probably the little pocket down here at the door. You can even put a little plastic bag in there if you want. And so you can just stuff all your little trash bits in there. For me, it'll be comprised mostly of like receipts or even this empty Tic Tac canister. So let's set this up. So even though it comes with a little clip on the back, I saw that when I clipped it to the side of my door and tried to close my door, it would just get caught up on my seat controls, so I wouldn't be able to properly close the door. But I was able to squeeze it into the little side pocket there, and I can just put in my trash just like that. And then when I'm done with this, I can just lift this up and just take it right out. So it fits nice and compact inside there. So for me, and maybe even for you, if you don't really use this side pocket for anything, you can use it for your little trash can, or you can use it for the other side pocket on the passenger side. Paper towel holder. I paid $4.89 for this, and it can be mounted in one of two ways. One is with this double-sided tape on the back, and then there's also instructions on how to drill it into your hardware if you want to, although it didn't come with any screws or anything, so I guess you have to provide those for yourself, or maybe they just forgot to put those in the package. But anyway, I got this golden color because that's the only one that they had. But for me, I'm just going to use the double-sided tape, and I am going to mount it underneath the cabinet on the unfinished side, and that way they'll let me take some paper towels off of the countertop and instead just have it hovering right under the cabinet, which I think will be great to save some space considering how I don't have a lot of counter space to begin with. So yeah, that was easy enough to put up there, and now the paper towels are off the countertop, so if I want to grab some, they're just right here. And then it's your preference if you want to do it the overway or the underway, you know, kind of like toilet paper. But yeah, as long as this stays attached to the underside of the cabinet, this is a really good buy. And it was cheaper than some of the ones that I've seen in store. I've seen one in Walmart and it cost a little over $5. So the fact that this costs a little under $5 means that I saved a little bit of money. This is a cobblestone embossed bathroom bath mat with a memory foam pad, and I paid $4.09 for this one, and it comes in a couple of sizes. This one is the smaller one that's about 15 inches by 23 inches, and there's a larger one that's 19 by 31 inches. And I will tell you, after taking it out the package, it does not smell too great. It's a really bad chemical type smell, almost like really strong fish, like bad fish. But anyway, let's see how comfortable it is on my feet. I mean, it's not the most cushiony thing in the world. I mean, I can still feel, a little bit of cushion underneath. Here's the underside of it. So you can see that it has that padding, and whew, yeah, it does not smell too good at all. So maybe definitely give this a wash. But for just coming out of the bathtub and just kind of stepping on this so you don't get water all on the floor, I guess it gets the job done, right? The electric nose hair trimmer. So this is something that I bought for $1.79 because unfortunately, as I've gotten a little bit older, I've noticed that sometimes those nose hairs can get a little bit too long and I need to take care of those. And I think that you can also use this for your ears as well, because why not? Let's take a look. So that's how we're looking right out of the box, and it also comes with this little cleaning brush accessory. And you just kind of take this top off and press this button. Gotta hold it in, but I gotta tell you, it's a little bit creepy. And I've got to stick this up my nose. So I'm not gonna subject you to watching me trim my nose hair, so I'll just come back and tell you how it worked. Also got one of these infrared laser thermometers in which you just hold down the trigger and the laser beam will tell you what the temperature is of whatever it is pointed on. And I lost all the footage for that, but I can tell you, paid around $10 for this and it was pretty accurate. I had a sous vide immersion circulator in a pot of water, and basically the temperature difference between what this told me and what the immersion circulator told me was about maybe 1 degree off, if that. So this worked out pretty well and it's still working out to this day. So I do like this. So those are all of the items that I bought from Temu. It was my first time trying out Temu, and I gotta say, things have worked out pretty good. Now, as I record this video, just know it's been several weeks since I got that package. I wanted to make sure that those items were actually going to hold up over time, and I gotta tell you that they have held up over time. The only word of caution that I want to give you is just really make sure you read exactly what it is that you're going to buy so you don't miss out on a little detail like I did with the paper towel rack. I ended up getting the shorter version, and the results of that is when the paper towels start to get used, because that rod's not going through the paper towel cardboard tube all the way, it starts to droop and lean the more that you use the paper towels. And they have a longer version on there, but I didn't pay close enough attention and I got the shorter version, so that's my mistake. But it's still holding up on the underside of that cabinet perfectly. And even the little bath mat thing worked out okay. I didn't even wash it. I just put it in the garage for like a day and the smell went away. And yeah, it is thin, but it does its job and it doesn't leave my floor soaking wet. I like the darn thing. I'm going to keep on using it. All of these products are something that I still use to this day. So they were cheap, and fortunately in this case, they were effective, and I do recommend them. And if you're interested in any of the items that I showed here today, be sure to check the description of this video because I'm going to leave links to those down there so you can check them out for yourself. And coming up soon, if you like Temu stuff, I got some more Temu goodies coming very, very soon. So that's going to be coming up in a future video, and I hope that you subscribe so that you can come back and check that out once it drops. So thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.